Hello, my name is Morgan Gossett, and I'm an admissions counselor at Western Kentucky University. Today, I'm joined by the entire admissions counselor team, and we are thrilled that you've decided to take some time out of your quarantine routine to make sure you're on track to becoming a Hilltopper next fall. A small housekeeping detail before we get started. Ask that you take a few moments to visit the link there on the screen to document your attendance at this session. This will help us keep record of who we've talked to and gives us a reference for reaching out in the future. Now, without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and get started. First things first, I believe congratulations are in order. You made it. Senior year may look a little different than what you expected, but I know you worked hard to get here, and we want to make sure all your accomplishments are accounted for. There are several ways that you might have earned college credit as a high school student, and these are just a few of them. If you scored a 26 or higher on the math section of the ACT, or a 29 or higher on the English, your scores have earned you course credit at WKU in each subject respectively. The key to actually receiving that credit is to make sure that you've had your scores sent to us from ACT directly. Note, we do not give course credit based off of scores received on a high school transcript, but rather we do have to have those scores from the testing facility directly. This is an easy fix though. If you did not list WKU as a recipient of your scores when you were taking the test, you can easily log back into your ACT account and order those scores be sent to us now. Another way you might have earned college credit in high school is through dual credit. Now I have no doubt that we have scholars aplenty joining in on this session. So you might have even taken multiple avenues for that dual credit. Here's the thing, if you took dual credit through WKU, no further action is needed. But if you took dual credit through any other institution, you will need to have an official transcript sent to us from that institution to receive your credit for those courses. Now, we know that all your dual credit coursework is also going to be listed on your high school transcript. But in order to get that college credit for it, we have to have that college transcript. If you're still doing dual credit classes now, wait until those classes are finished before ordering your transcript to be sent. But otherwise, I encourage you to request your official college transcript to be sent to us before your orientation, which we will talk about a little more in just a bit. Last thing here before I hand you off to my friend Mary Beth is general course placement. We've talked about how your work in high school has earned you college credit, but it's also going to be used to determine your placement in your upcoming college courses as well. You may have received an email about being placed in a supplemental course. If that's the case, there's no need to worry. That simply means that your test scores indicate that you might benefit from a slightly different class structure in that indicated subject area. This is not a remedial class. It still counts as credits towards your graduation, but simply put, the class will be structured just a bit differently than the non-supplemental versions, as it'll meet a little more frequently. If you feel as though you would not benefit from this class structure, you can opt into taking a course placement exam at WKU. But note, that exam must be taken in one of our proctored environments, and you must schedule that test in advance. So for more information in that regard, feel free to reach out to your admissions counselor directly, and we would be happy to get you on the right track.
Hey guys, my name is Mary Beth Childers, admissions counselor for Lexington, Northern Kentucky, and Southern Ohio areas. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the Topper Orientation Program. So our top dates do run from April through August. And what the Topper Orientation Program is, it's a mandatory one-day orientation where you will talk to your advisors, schedule for fall classes, and be in a small group session with a current student where you can ask questions about the WKU experience. So something to keep in mind for our honors college students is that you do have a specific orientation that was going to be on campus on April 17th, but that has since been moved to April 15th online in a Zoom session just like this. So that is something to keep in mind if you are an honors college student. Our top dates, like I said, do run from April all the way through August. So if you're not an honors college student, then you are able to sign up for any of these dates. Our orientations do run $75, but if you were eligible for a fee waiver, you can also be eligible for a TOP voucher. So you can find that at wku.edu/top/voucher, and that will reduce the cost down to $25. So that fee is going to include your student IDs, information sessions, and then your fall registration courses as well. So all of our online orientations from April through May are now moved to online Zoom sessions. So what that means is that you'll still be in a small group, you'll still meet with your advisor, you will still register for fall courses. It's just going to be online. So that's the only difference. So if you have signed up for one of these, you would have already received correspondence. If you would like to sign up for one of these, we do still have dates open for you besides April 25th. So if you would like to be moved to an online session, you can do that. That's where you're going to call the number in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You can email as well. When you do go to sign up for orientation in general, those are the numbers that you can call. You can also sign up online at wku.edu/top. So all of our on-campus programs, we're planning to run those from June on. But you also need to keep in mind that these are subject to change due to guidelines from Governor Andy Beshear, as well as the CDC. We're following those closely, so just make sure you keep up with the correspondence for that.
Hey guys, Morgan Terry, counselor for Tennessee here. So registering for TOP is the most important next step in the process. Make sure you guys have done that. But if you guys have done that, you also need to make sure that you've already applied for housing at WKU. The housing application is open. The deadline was March 31st. However, if you have not completed the housing application yet, don't worry about it. We will still accept your housing application and we will still have housing available for you this fall on campus. So go online to the WKU housing website. You have the link there on your slide, and then you can also reach that page from the Student Life tab on the WKU homepage. It's only going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete the housing application. And what's great about it is there's also a roommate finder that is a part of the application. So if you have someone in mind that you want to room with, awesome. You and your roommate will just need to put each other's names down on your housing application and you will be guaranteed to room together. If not, you can complete that roommate finder. You can put some lifestyle choice information up there and kind of use it like social media where you'll be able to message and speak with other incoming students just to make sure that the transition for both you and your roommate will go as smooth as possible when you do move into campus this fall. Housing assignments are normally expected to be sent in the summer. However, we're expecting them to also be sent maybe in May this year. That's just going to come directly from the housing office. And if you are a commuter student, you will still need to fill out the housing exemption form. So it's still also going to take you just about 5 or so minutes. It's going to be really quick, but you will need to get that form submitted as well. If you have any questions about the housing process at WKU, please reach out to the folks in housing directly. You have their contact information on the screen with their phone, and you can also email them at hrl@wku.edu. So as far as housing goes on campus, all first and second year students are indeed required to live on campus. But here's the thing, we love our housing on campus. We have 3 different types of housing. We have community style, we have hotel style where you and your roommate have your own private bathroom, and then we also have suite style and apartment style housing as well. All the bathrooms are cleaned twice a day, even on weekends, even on holidays. We've sunk millions and millions of dollars into our housing over the past 5 or so years, really to help boost up the campus life presence on campus. So if you have not submitted that, get that in as soon as possible. And you'll see on the housing application that we are encouraging our first year students to apply for what we are calling LLCs, Living Learning Communities. Basically what those are is where every student on your floor would all share the same passion that you do. So that could be academic in nature. For example, all the business students will all live on a floor surrounded by other business students. Same for education students and several other departments as well. However, that could also be more social in nature. So if you're a part of ROTC, for example, there's going to be a LLC that's available specifically for ROTC students. There's going to be an LLC available specifically for students with food allergies or who are into clean eating. So there's a whole bunch of different options. You can see those all on the website. But again, most importantly, besides registering for TOP, is make sure you get that housing application in as soon as possible. So go to that housing website and get that submitted to us as soon as you can to ensure that you do have housing available on campus this fall.
Hi, everyone. This is Kayla Lofton, the Diversity Recruitment Officer for WKU. I'm going to talk briefly about Master Plan. Master Plan is an extended orientation for first-time freshmen. Although Master Plan is not mandatory, we highly encourage all incoming students to participate. It's a great way to meet students who will be living on your floor and meet other WKU students who can help show you the ropes. Throughout the week, there will be several social and educational programs designed to help you get adjusted to campus life. The best part, you get to move into your residence hall an entire week early. Keep in mind that if you plan on participating in sorority recruitment or the Intercultural Student Engagement Center Academy for minority students, Master Plan will not interfere. For more information, please visit the website that's on the screen.
Hi, everyone. Chris Storath, the Central Kentucky Admissions Counselor. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about our Summer Scholars Program. Now, this summer program is specifically geared towards a specific group of students, specifically those whose GPA does fall between a 2.0 and a 2.49. And it's basically a period to help you transition from high school to the college setting. So think of it in a way as kind of like our extended orientation, but it goes a little bit deeper as you will be earning a little bit of college credit with this as well. So if you're thinking, do I have to are these extra classes that I have to take? Is it going to be added on to my major? Not at all. These are still going to be the two classes that you do take are still going to count towards our Colonnade or our general education program here at WKU. So you will still be earning those credits towards your degree program, no matter what degree program you decide to go into. Now, right now, this is scheduled to begin with our move-in starting on Friday, July 10th. And those classes starting that Monday morning, July 13th, with the program officially ending on August 13th, kind of leading into our master plan week. So that is going to take place right now in person. However, we are subject to change on this as we are following, as was mentioned earlier, the CDC guidelines and guidelines by Governor Andy Beshear. So make sure you are keeping up with correspondence about this as well, because any changes that are made to Summer Scholars, you will be notified immediately via email. Now, if you're worried about the cost of Summer Scholars, like how are you going to afford this tuition on top of regular tuition for WKU? The most any student will ever have to pay for Summer Scholars is $500. However, a large majority of the time, financial aid does cover most, if not all, of this cost. And this covers your housing for those 5 weeks, all of your meals, your tuition for those 6 credit hours that will be earned, as well as access to various amenities on campus, such as our Preston Health Center membership. You'll have access to one-on-one advising, our academic advising center, and various student support services like our 24-hour computer lab, career center, those sort of things. In the evenings, you will have social activities that are put on by some of our wonderful staff to kind of help you meet those students that are you're taking classes with, that you might have classes with come that fall semester. Now, the 2 classes specifically that you will be enrolled in are most likely going to be a literacy course, kind of similar to how our university experience courses work. It's to help you some pro tips really to navigating our campus. The other class that you will be enrolled in is a social and behavioral science course. So again, both of those classes are going to earn you credit towards your degree. So now I'll kind of pass it on to Rachel to talk a little bit about our transportation system on campus, as well as our meal plans.
Hey everyone, this is Rachel Mergenthal, Admissions Counselor for Southeastern Kentucky. I'm going to cover transportation and meal plans for you all today. So first and foremost, I get a lot of questions asking if first-year students are allowed to bring their cars on campus, and you all are definitely allowed to have your car on campus. You'll just have to purchase a parking permit, and those range from $50 to $240 a year. I will preface that the $240 a year one is what I used when I was in grad school, but that's because I was a commuting student. So there's one that's about $125, and that's just your general on-campus parking pass, and that's one that's perfect for our first-year students. Another thing to keep in mind is make sure you wait to purchase your parking pass until after you've received your housing assignment. It's really important that you receive your housing assignment so you know which lots you want to try to be able to park in. If you don't have a car or you're not able to bring one to campus, that's totally fine. We've got several services in place for students who don't have access to a car. So there's free access to public transit. We have discount enrollments with Enterprise. We have a car share program, and we have discounts on the Nashville Airport shuttle service. Another thing to keep in mind is we have the Topper Transit Unit, completely free for all of our students for on campus and off campus. It's a good resource, honestly, if it's really cold and you just don't want to walk up the hill in the middle of the fall semester. But just keep in mind that's definitely an option if you don't bring a car with you on campus. Okay, and now we're going to talk about food, everyone's favorite. So as you all can see here on this map, we have over 20 restaurants. We have everything from Papa John's to Chick-fil-A. There's a Panda Express, a Chili's, there's a Starbucks. There's lots of good options for you all. Because you're required to purchase a meal plan, you all will actually have a choice of which meal plan you can purchase. So you all can see here they range from about 10 meals per week to unlimited meals. I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about each of these. That way you guys have an idea of which one you might want to select. Don't select a meal plan until you have completed TOP, just because there is a session at TOP where that will cover these meal plans a little bit more in depth. So for example, if you all select a 14 meals per week option and you're only using 10 of those meals per week, you're essentially wasting 4 meals because those don't roll over into the next week. So if you've noticed, say you've noticed after 3 weeks of being a student that you're only using 10 of your 14 meals, you can switch your meal plan, but after that 3-week mark, you can't change it. You can't decrease meal plans. You can always increase. We don't want you to starve. So you can always go from 10 meals to 14 meals. That's an easy fix. But after the 3-week deadline, you can't adjust your meal to lower it. Another thing to keep in mind is your meal plan dollars. So each of those meal plans comes with meal plan dollars that you could use to purchase a drink at Starbucks or a coffee at Einstein's or something like that. The less meals per week you have, it's the more meal plan dollars that you're actually receiving. And again, those will be covered more in depthly at TOP, but that's just a little bit of an insight into our meal plans.
Hey guys, it's Chris again. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a financial aid, your FAFSA, things you need on file for getting those scholarships and whatnot. So make sure you do have an up-to-date and current FAFSA on file with our financial aid office on campus. If you don't have that in quite yet, just make sure you do fill that out and turn that in. For this current 20 school year coming up, the 2020-2021, they will use the 2018 tax information, just something to kind of keep in mind. But even if you're thinking, you know, I'm not going to qualify for any scholarships or anything like that, I still highly recommend you do have a FAFSA on file with us because this is required even for things like on-campus jobs. So that is for any sort of student employment if you're planning to work on campus. We still need that FAFSA on file. Most of departments across campus, such as housing and various staff and academic departments on campus, do offer some sort of student employment. And with your student employment, students can work up to 20 hours per week. And it's think of it kind of like a work-study program, but instead of that money going directly towards like tuition, you do get paid just like a normal job. So it's typically direct deposit into your bank account. So as you know, with our merit-based awards, talking a little bit now about our scholarships, those don't have a deadline for them, but you still need that FAFSA on file to receive them. So for our merit-based awards, those academic merit awards, those are going to be given out to those qualifying students for being admitted to the university. So there's not going to be a separate application for that. Same thing with like our target-based awards. The only scholarship that you're going to see that requires a separate application is our top dollar award. And for our top dollar, it's going to have a February 1st preferred deadline, but even if you have not got to fill that out quite yet, totally fine. I still highly encourage you to go onto your TopNet and find that top dollar application, as you never know what sort of awards you're going to be eligible for. Now, if you require a payment plan for tuition and the total cost of attendance, I highly recommend getting in touch with our bursar's office. Their link is right there towards the middle of the slide, wku.edu/bursar. And if you have any more specific financial aid related questions, or if you want help on finding additional scholarships and whatnot, I definitely recommend getting in touch with our student financial aid office. Their phone number and email is listed in the bottom left as well.
All right, y'all. This is Owen from Western Kentucky University representing Warren County and Bowling Green. So Top Dollar is an online portal that houses about 1,200 different scholarships. So you will fill out one giant application, and this will sort of tailor the scholarships that you're more likely to get. So you will apply for these, and it'll be a time saver, and it will help you to get more scholarships that you're more applicable for. There is a soft deadline of February 1st for this, for that is when financial aid starts awarding those scholarships, but you can still go into Top Dollar and apply for scholarships if they've not been awarded yet. You will receive award notification to the email address that you applied to WKU with, and then as you continue your career at WKU, those notifications will go to your WKU email address. You will need to check your email address and then go into the Top Dollar portal to accept those awards. And then you will also need to submit your Top Dollar application each year that you are a Hilltopper. And that's all for Top Dollar scholarships.
Hi everyone, my name is Karina Bruce and I am the Louisville-based counselor. I'm just going to talk a little bit about scholarships and how we actually award those. So if you look on the screen right here, you can see that we have different tiers for different GPA ranges. So on the left-hand side, you will see that we have it listed all the way from a 3.0 all the way to a 4.0. So what you will do is you will go to the side and you will go to whatever your GPA range is, and then you're going to slide over, and that will give you the amount of money that you will receive every single year. The really awesome thing about merit-based scholarships is that they're automatic, so you don't have to fill out an application for them or any additional steps. You just give us your transcript and we will go ahead and award the scholarships based off of the transcript that we have. We do look at the highest GPA. So if you send in multiple transcripts, that's perfectly fine, but we will only look at the highest GPA. Something to keep in mind as well is we only look at unweighted GPA. So although we will accept the credit that comes with weighted GPA, we only look at unweighted GPA for scholarship purposes. The really awesome thing with merit-based scholarships, they are renewable for 4 years. You just have to keep a 2.5 GPA. You are also, as I said, more than welcome to send us in another transcript if you would like, and we will accept transcripts all the way up until your final transcript, and we will use that to determine what scholarships you get if in fact your GPA does upgrade. Next, we're going to talk about targeted awards. Targeted awards are going to be awards that we give for specific groups of students. So essentially how these work, again, we look at your GPA. So if you look on the right hand of the screen, you can see the different GPAs that go with each scholarship. And then if you look all the way to the left, that will determine how much money you would receive for each respective scholarship. So if we start at the top, that's going to be for our Kentucky students who participated in GSA, GSP, GSE, and then also for any student who were National Merit Scholars or Rogers Scholars. So you do have to have at least that 3.0 GPA to receive that, and you would get $1,500. If you move down to the next tier, that's going to be the Cornelius A. Martin Scholarship, which is for our minority students. This one is also tiered. So if you look on the right-hand side, if you have between a 2.5 and a 2.9 GPA, you would get $2,000 a year. And then if you have a 3.0 or higher, you would receive $3,000. Now, again, as I said, the targeted awards are also automatic. So you don't have to apply for anything. There's no additional applications or anything like that. You will automatically receive that award based off of the GPA that we have on file for you. Now, keep in mind that the targeted awards will also be on top of any merit scholarships that you receive as well. So they are stackable, and as much stuff as you qualify for, we will give you. Just like the merit scholarships, targeted awards are also renewable for 4 years. And again, you just want to be sure that you keep a 2.5 GPA. I do know that some students, if you've taken the ACT, or if ACT does decide to offer more test dates, we will accept June as the last ACT score that we will consider for any kind of scholarships that we offer. I do realize that we're in unprecedented times. So again, that's up to ACT if they decide to offer those. But if they do, please keep in mind that you can send us in updated ACT scores as well.
Hi, everyone. This is Ryan Shuck, the admissions counselor for West Kentucky. And now that you've heard about being offered financial aid, we're going to talk just a little bit about accepting that financial aid. First, we're going to talk about the 3 steps to accept a loan. Now, the first step is going to be accepting the desired amount of loan through TopNet. Now, the phrasing there is important because it does say accept the desired amount. You are not obligated to accept the entire loan. If for whatever reason you don't need the entire loan, or that it's more than would be covered, by all means, do not feel obligated to do that. But make sure that you and your family work that out and make sure that you're doing what is best for you there. If you're not sure how that will play out, please be sure to contact the financial aid office. So after you've accepted that desired amount, the next thing you're going to do is complete the entrance loan counseling session. That is hosted on studentloans.gov. So that'll be the second step. And then lastly, also on studentloans.gov, you will need to make sure that you successfully e-sign their master promissory note. Now, one thing I do want to make mention of is that if these 3 steps are not completed, the accepting the desired amount, the entrance counseling, as well as the e-signature, if those 3 steps are not completed, your loan will not be processed. So you need to make sure that you pay attention to those details and take care of all 3 of those steps. Lastly, you'll need to go and make sure that you also accept all of your scholarships that you've been offered. And to do that, it's going to be very easy. What you're going to do is just log in to what is essentially your student portal here at WKU TopNet. Log into TopNet using your NetID and your password. You will select the Financial Aid tab. Once you've done that, you'll click on Award, and then after that, click on Award for the aid year. You'll select on your aid year, which for you all, our incoming freshman class will be 2020, 2021. Then you'll click on Accept Offered Awards, and then go through each individual award you've been offered and make sure that you select that you are accepting those. So again, you'll need to make sure that you accept all of that financial aid, whether it's loans or scholarships being offered to you. And then as we close, I do just want to bring up just a few reminders for you to kind of summarize all the things we've talked about. First, if you haven't already, please be sure to register for TOP. This is very important. Next, if you haven't already done so, you want to make sure that you've completed that top dollar scholarship application. And again, I know it had a February 1st soft deadline, but that application does remain open. Please make sure to take care of that if you haven't done so already. You'll want to make sure you apply for housing and any exemptions you think that you may qualify for. And lastly, as we just talked about, go through and accept that financial aid. As we close, we just want to thank you all so much for hanging out with us for just a little bit. We hope that you are staying safe and staying healthy during these unsure times that we have going on right now. But please know, even with all that unsurety going around, please know that we are here for you. If there's anything at all that we can do, just reach out. You have our information there. We are happy to help and happy to talk with you. Please use that information. Know that we are thinking of you and we're here for you. Have a great rest of your day and go Tops.